The rumble of a changing world order is growing louder. BRICS, the economic alliance of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, is flexing its muscles. Together they represent a massive market, vast resources, and a growing industrial force. The question on everyone's lips: can this economic powerhouse disrupt the long-held dominance of the US economy? The answer is far from simple. It's a tale of rising stars, established giants, and the complex dance of global trade. In today's video, we will discuss all the arguments in detail, but before we move forward, let's explore the pages of history a bit. The story of BRICS begins not with a political meeting, but with an investment strategy. In 2001, economist Jim O'Neill of Goldman Sachs coined the term BRICS to describe four emerging economies with the potential to reshape the global order: Brazil, Russia, India, and China. These countries, O'Neill argued, possessed a unique combination of factors: large populations, abundant resources, and rapid economic growth that could propel them to the forefront of the world economy. The BRIC concept resonated. It captured a growing sense that the traditional powerhouses led by the US were no longer the only players on the field. While the individual BRIC nations had their own histories and trajectories, they shared some common threads. All had undergone significant economic reforms in recent decades, opening their markets and attracting foreign investment. Each boasted a large young workforce and a growing middle class, fueling domestic demand. The idea of a BRIC alliance, however, remained just that, an idea, until 2006. That year, on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly, the foreign ministers of Brazil, Russia, India, and China met for the first time. The global financial crisis of 2008 further underscored the need for cooperation. The established financial institutions seemed to have faltered, and the BRIC nations saw an opportunity to reshape the global economic landscape. In 2009, the first official BRIC summit took place in Yekaterinburg, Russia. The leaders pledged to work together to reform international financial institutions, promote sustainable development, and strengthen South-South cooperation between developing countries. The message was clear. The BRIC nations were no longer content to be bystanders in the global economic order. They were ready to be active participants and potential challengers. The alliance expanded in 2010 with the inclusion of South Africa, becoming BRICS. This move further solidified the group's position as a representative of the global South, encompassing a wide range of economic and political systems. Since then, BRICS has established a number of institutions, including the new Development Bank and the Contingent Reserve Arrangement, aimed at fostering economic cooperation and financial stability among member states. However, the BRICS journey hasn't been without its challenges. Internal differences on issues like trade and security have emerged. The slowing growth of some member economies has also cast doubt on the group's initial promise. Yet BRICS remains a significant force in the global economic landscape. With a combined GDP that continues to rise and a growing influence on international institutions, BRICS continues to be a story to watch. Its impact on the US-led economic order yet to be fully written. But can BRICS dethrone the US dollar? Here's the catch. In the year 2023, the BRICS nations achieved a huge and important breakthrough in their relationship. As time went on, it became abundantly evident that the alliance was not merely a loose collection of developing nations. Rather, it was a massive global collaboration with a population that exceeded $4.5 billion and a combined GDP that topped $18 trillion. The global collaboration that took place here was substantial. The present global order, which has been dominated for a considerable amount of time by the United States of America and its allies, is one of the goals of this ambitious group, which was established with the idea of disrupting the system. This intention was the driving force for the formation of this group. It is likely that the economic might of the BRICS nations may eventually be compared to that of established powerhouses such as the G7, which has a combined GDP of $43 trillion, and the European Union, which has a collective GDP of $18.5 trillion. This will occur when the BRICS states are getting closer to complete unification. In the event that the BRICS nations were successful in consolidating their economy, this would be the situation. There will be huge repercussions as a result of this probable transition, particularly with regard to the relationship that exists between the United States and China. Despite the fact that there are political differences between the two countries, there are others who say that China's economic dependency on the United States makes it imperative that a positive connection be maintained between the two countries. This is in spite of the fact that it is abundantly clear that China has emerged victorious as a result of significant commercial interactions with the United States. When all of the aforementioned is taken into consideration, the viewpoint does not take into account the strategic diversification that China has implemented. By increasing the quantity of economic activity that takes place within the BRICS alliance, China will be able to make up for the commerce that it has lost with the United States. This will be possible if China establishes a strong partnership with the BRICS organization. The economic landscape of the entire world has the potential to undergo a major alteration if there is a significant movement in the distribution of economic power within the world. Despite the fact that the United States continues to have the greatest economy in the world, the percentage of the global GDP generated by the United States is decreasing. This is a trend that has been seen for quite some time. In an effort to reduce their reliance on the dollar, the BRICS members are investigating a wide range of potential alternatives. One recommendation is to increase the volume of trade within the alliance. This could potentially reduce the dollar's role as the primary currency for international transactions. On the other hand, it would appear that the standing of the dollar as the principal reserve currency on the international scene is growing more stable. This is despite the fact of the situation we just described. U.S. Treasury securities remain highly sought after as a safe haven asset due to the country's advanced financial markets and significant public debt. The United States' status as a global financial hub reinforces this demand. Additionally, major economies including G7 members and the EU continue to invest in the dollar system, exacerbating the existing situation. It is quite improbable that the dollar will be completely dethroned from its current position as a result of this effect. The establishment of the BRICS nations, on the other hand, has the potential to bring about an economic environment that is more multipolar. If the BRICS nations engage in more commerce with one another and establish other reserve currencies, then this would imply that the dollar's function as a transactional currency might shrink. For example, the BRICS nations could establish alternative reserve currencies. On the other hand, a reduction in the use of the dollar for transactions with countries outside of the US would have substantial repercussions for the economy of the United States. Take, for instance, a firm that deals in the importation of commodities. In the event that they conduct all of their commercial dealings in dollars, they are required to have dollar reserves for the purpose of acquiring other businesses. This obligation has been placed on them. As a result, if people start using another currency, like the euro, they will sell dollars to buy euros, increasing the supply of dollars on the market. If this trend occurs across many businesses, it could potentially lead to a decline in the dollar's value. The decline in the value of the dollar creates a domino effect on other currencies. This supports alternative currencies like the euro and can influence trading terms within the eurozone. As the dollar's value drops, the cost of importing goods into the United States rises, contributing to increased inflation. Quantitative tightening is reducing the supply of dollars by $95 billion per month, and interest rates are currently between 5% and 5.25%, with expectations of further increases. This combination could lead to a decline in investment, potentially further weakening the dollar. So can BRICS disrupt the US economy? The answer is complex. While a complete dethronement of the dollar seems unlikely, BRICS' rise presents a challenge. Increased trade within the alliance could decrease the US dollar's role in global transactions, potentially weakening its value and impacting US imports. However, the US's strong financial markets and established reserve currency status provide some insulation. The most likely scenario is the more multipolar economic landscape and the US dollar remaining influential but facing growing competition. The true impact of BRICS on the US economy will depend on the effectiveness of their economic cooperation and the evolution of the global financial system. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, and like the video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting economic updates and theories.